Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, where we relax and craft and we work on a project together and hang out and chit chat. Thanks replay viewers for watching, and thank you YouTube viewers for watching as well. This will go up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies when we're done here tonight. So we are starting a new project tonight. We are going to embroider the Tweet House hand embroidery pattern. It's this cute little, it's a penguin and fish pattern, so it's this little birdies in a house with a cute little wreath around it. I actually did a winter version of it as well. So the winter version is free until January 1st when you purchase either the paper pattern or the digital pattern of the Tweet House. You'll get an email with it in. So we are going to embroider the winter version, and we are going to color tint the fabric. So that is the big thing. I've never done this before, and I'm excited to give it a go. Color tinting is when you color the fabric with some sort of pigment. So we're going to use crayon, and I'm also going to test out colored pencil as well. But you can use paint, you can use all sorts of things. So you color the fabric first. Well, we're going to transfer the design first, but then you color in the lines with crayon. Then you melt out all the wax with the iron, and then we stitch when we're done. So it's kind of like you get that coloring book feel, but you still get it embellished with embroidery and everything still. So I am stoked. This is my first time doing this. So tonight we will transfer the design to fabric, and then I think we'll also do some color test. I have a scrap piece of fabric. We'll give this a go. And then I think tomorrow, we'll see where we are with time, but I think tomorrow we'll really start coloring in the fabric on the real design. But we'll give it a go. We're going to test it out tonight so we know how the fabric reacts, how the crayon reacts, how the colored pencils react to the heat, and we'll see how it goes. I've never done it. I'm excited. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around, and we'll get started on this tonight. Oh, you got your crayons all organized. Nice, Carla. Okay, I am stoked. So I have my colored pencils ready. I thought we'd give colored pencils a try, so I have those here, and I have, look, I gotta show you how I organized my crayons. Look, I got this cool cookie tin. So all my crayons were all over my office, and I put them all in a crayon or a cookie tin. So this is the crayons. I'm also actually going to get a piece of paper out. We'll test some crayons on paper and fabric. I got my scrap piece of fabric here to do some tests. But right now we are going to transfer the design first. So, all right. Here is the little design, little birdies, and we got some winter foliage there. So here's my fabric. I am using just a white muslin, and I have my light table here, but we're able to see the design pretty easily through there. So I'm going to just give this a press, and then we'll trace it. I'm actually going to transfer it using a hoop, which I haven't ever done before either. So we'll give that a try as well, and I'll show you what I mean in a sec here. One thing to note, I am going to transfer it with just a pencil. I'm not going to transfer it with my water-soluble marking pen like I usually do, because we're going to be putting heat on this. And from what I've read, I haven't experienced this myself, but from what I've read, the heat can affect the water-soluble marker a little bit, so we're going to just transfer it with just a sharp pencil. So if you have a sharp pencil, a mechanical pencil, pack set is perfect. Ooh, you bought a new box of crayons. Oh, and you already transferred it. Perfect. So all right, I'm going to just start off with the kitty cats here. Let's just give this a little press. It's a bit wrinkly. And I also have my paper towels ready for later when we give this a try. You're going to want some paper towels or just any paper. You can use typing paper. You can also use like a paper bag. We just need something to protect our iron and our ironing board from the crayons. So, all right, I'm gonna try this other little technique for transferring a design. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your hoop. Carla, I don't think I've ever starched before embroidering. I'm not sure if I've ever thought about that before. I suppose it wouldn't harm anything. I guess for me, starch is just to make the fabric stiffer, and I don't know if I really need that for the embroidery. So I'm gonna put this in the hoop. If you're using, if you want to transfer this way, if you're using a fabric with a pattern, make sure this is the wrong side of the fabric, and I'm going to show you why in a sec. So I'm going to just pull this tight. I am not going to use a stabilizer, Patty. You can, someone here always has a good suggestion for the stabilizer. I have not done that too often, but you can put a stabilizer, like something that is easy to stitch through. You can put a stabilizer behind your fabric so you don't see the little threads when you jump from one spot to another. We should give that a try sometime. I don't do that very often. All right, so this is a different way to trace the design. So what we're really gonna do is we're gonna flip it around so that the top part, like the top of the fabric, is flat. So we're just flipping it around like we're doing it backwards almost. I am not using sticky Faber-Selby for this one. I know, it's been a while. Some people iron freezer paper to the back while coloring. Oh, to hold the fabric in place better. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good idea. I think we'll stick with this. We're gonna see how it works first, but Holly, that is a great suggestion. So Holly's saying that we're not gonna color quite yet, but when we do color, she says to put some freezer paper on the back because then you can color without the fabric shifting a lot. And I kind of like that idea. So maybe I'll grab some of that for tomorrow. But for transferring the design, we are gonna just trace with pencil. But this is a way to have your fabric taut already and be able to see the design. One extra thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just tape my design to the hoop. So it's a little bit bigger than the hoop, so I'm going to just trim some of the edges off. Oh, then you don't have to use stabilizer. Oh, well, some people like using stabilizer because I'm going to just tape it on the back here. Because the stabilizer, they leave it on because then you can not see the stitches once your piece is done. All right, so I'm just putting some of that blue painter's tape on the back here. And then we'll flip this around and kind of place this in the hoop there. I haven't tried this way of transferring a design before, but I thought it'd be fun to give it a go. So I'm basically taping the pattern to the hoop right now. But there we go. So now it won't move around. And you can still use a light table or a bright window if you want, but using the hoop, it is a nice way to keep things a little taut here. So, all right. I'm just gonna go ahead and let's sit and we'll trace this guy. I got my mechanical pencil out. I guess anywhere is decent to start. So we're gonna color over this and stitch over all these lines. So I'm not too concerned, about how light or dark I'm making them. I think we'll be okay. But yeah, this I'm already can tell that this mechanical pencil is working like super great. It's a nice, clean line. So I'm gonna try and do this quick, but you feel free to take your time doing this. You think you'll like this method? Sometimes your pattern moves when you trace. Oh yeah, so I think I'm gonna actually kind of like it here too. it's already helping. I don't have to be so careful. It feels like, ooh, actually, I don't know if I had French knots on all the ends of those. I can't quite tell. We'll get close. There we go. Yep, so I will take it out of the hoop when I'm done here, and then we will color it, and then I'll be doing the hoop the other direction. So I'm not going to keep it in this direction for embroidery. Machine embroiderers, they keep it this direction, but we will be flipping it so that the fabric's to the front again. Just because I think if you embroidered this way, I think that hoop, the front of the hoop, would kind of be in your way a whole lot. You can give it a try. I mean, it's not going to harm anything. I just think it'll be a little awkward. So yeah, I'll take it out of the hoop. All right, we'll just draw this whole border first. Kind of excited to color in this little holly. So another thing you might want to have on hand is your embroidery floss, because you can pick out the colors that you want already, and then you can start picking your crayons based on that. I did not measure this cut of fabric. The pattern will fit like within, let me see. The pattern, when it's done, is 4.5 inches by 5 3/4 inches. So I have a piece of fabric that's at least that big. I would say I have about like 13 or 14 inches of fabric here. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it when I'm done, so I cut it a little bit bigger than I needed. So sometimes when I when I transfer the lazy daisy stitches or the single chain stitches, you know, like what I did there, sometimes since it's going to just be a loop of thread, sometimes I only like marking the beginning and the end of the stitch, because then you won't see the little loops going through. So right here, I just marked the start point and the end point. And I'll know, because I'll have the pattern next to me, I'll know that that's a big loop-de-loop thing, especially when I'm using like a pencil or something that won't necessarily come out. I don't think I have anything there. All right, I like these little sprucey little dudes here. I think this will be fun to stitch. So this isn't taking too long. I think the light table would have helped me just a hair, but we're doing okay. It's actually going pretty quickly, I think. All right, this is a snowflake. So for the snowflakes, I think I'm gonna, ideally, you know, I'm thinking about how I want to color it already. I kind of want like a halo of blue around, and then maybe I'll stitch it with white. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Or I might use some metallic threads. That might be kind of fun with a little winter scene too. This definitely, having this in the hoop does make it easier to like move things around quick. So here I'm just drawing I'm drawing the full loops again, instead of just marking the points. We'll see what the difference is. Little snowflakes or dustings. Oh, Patricia, I have seen this done before by other embroiderers, and I've heard that it's great for just like having your flat surface ready. I've taped the pattern to the hoop, and I thought, you know what? I've never done that before. Let's give it a go. And it really is working kind of nicely. I mean, I can shimmy things around really quick, and it still is really flat against the table. And the pattern's not moving at all either. So far so good. I kind of like it. And, you know, like I said, you can have your light table here too still and move it around. Here, we can do that for the rest of it. I do have my light table here. So with a light table, you can also use a bright sunny window. I just happen to be able to see through this really well. Oh man, I think I am stuck. Hold on. There we go. Oh, no, we didn't. All right, well, I guess we're not using the light table. The cord just pulled out, but luckily I can still see. But yeah, if you had a light table or a bright window behind this, then, you know, you'd be able to see it even better. Does it have to do with the reverse of the pattern too? Oh, I'm not using the reverse of the pattern. So what I'm going to do is, like, my hoop's in reverse right now, but I'm going to flip it. I'm going to take this out of the hoop and then flip the hoop back around when I'm ready to stitch. But you know, when you draw and when you trace stuff, it is kind of nice to move things around. So I think I'm transferring the design way faster because I can, like, move the design around easily to how it fits my hand better. Oh, thanks, Anne-Marie. Oh, you're so sweet. But yeah, so this is just, I've never tried it before, and in the spirit of trying new things, which we are tonight with the crayons, I'm like, we'll give this way of using the hoop to help transfer the design a try too. But yeah, so far I'm kind of digging this. I could see doing this again for sure. And I think it would work just as well if you're using, you know, a water-soluble pencil or marker. I mean, obviously, I still do love the water or the sulky stick and stitch. I love that paper because you can just print it on, and you can avoid this altogether. But you know, we're color tinting the fabric, so we can't cover it up with the stick and stitch. So we're doing it this way. But man, sharp pencil, it's working kind of swell. I mean, the pencil is, you know, semi-permanent. I mean, you can try and erase it out a little bit, but it doesn't matter so much because the stitches are going to be over it. So I don't think it's going to matter at all. So when I decided to do this color tinting thing, I tried to choose a pattern that had some big areas to color in. You know, like the house is a little bit bigger area, in theory easier to color in than little teeny areas. But there are some little areas, like these little window thingies or decorative deals, and you know, this little what would they call that? Like where the little bird sits on, a little perch, a perch. That's what it would be. That's kind of small. So we'll see how we do with crayons. This might be more of a colored pencil type design. I think you could probably get a little bit more detailed. We'll see. We're gonna do after I get this transferred, I want to do some tests since I've never done this before. If you haven't done this either, I would suggest having a scrap piece of fabric around and a scrap paper to do some tests as well. I want to see how the crayon works, like how it goes on. You know, it's fabric, so it's got a rough surface, which means it's going to grab onto the crayon quite a bit. So I think it will get a lot of crayon on pretty quickly, which could mean we have pretty bold blocks of color, which, you know, you might necessarily want. You want to be able to, well, you can do it however you want the look, but we're going to try and blend it together so it's like this nice blended coloring. So I think that's going to require a really light touch, but that's why I want to do a test first to see how it feels. Ooh, Carla, 125 would be great. I mean, 125, that'd probably be what, about like about a little bit bigger than this hoop maybe. That would probably make it a whole lot easier to color in. And then you'd end up with a bigger design too, which is cool. Yeah, feel free to shrink or enlarge this pattern to whatever size you want. And look, that was fast. We're done transferring already. So here we go. Design all ready to go. I'm gonna take it out of the hoop now, and we don't need our blue tape anymore. I'm gonna get rid of that. Actually, maybe I'll keep it because you know what? Maybe we'll just maybe we'll color it like this too. You know how we were just discussing using freezer paper because it might move around. Maybe we'll actually color this while it's in the hoop like this. Then it'll kind of stay in place. I mean, I'm digging this whole hoop thing. Let's just continue that. I might put like a little piece of paper behind it like that because it's a little brighter. But I do want to be able to see the pattern while we do this. But right now that we have this transferred, let's start playing around. I want to give this a try. So I just have a little white paper here. I think it'll help me see a little bit better. I have an extra piece of fabric. This is the same fabric that I'm using for my embroidery. And you know what? I'm going to just draw some shapes on here. Let's draw that holly shape, then we can give it a try. I'm going to draw it really big just so we can play around with it a little bit. We'll just draw some holly. I used to work for a greeting card company, so I drew and I painted a ton of holly. So I can do some holly up pretty quick. So here we go. There's my little holly drawing, and you know what? Let's just let's draw some extra circles on here just to play around. I just want to have a shape that we can draw in. But all right, I am gonna get the pencils or the crayons out here. We'll leave this guy hanging out so we can kind of take a look at it. Let's just give this a go. So I have read that you want to start with some lighter colors versus dark, but I want to see the whole blending thing. I want to give this a go. So I'm going to just get a bunch of different greens that might be pretty with that holly. You know, maybe we throw in a little bit of this blue. Oh my God, is this Periwinkle? Ah, this was one of my favorite crayons. So Periwinkle. Let's see if I can find my other favorites. I liked Periwinkle. I liked Wild Strawberry. I don't remember that growing up. Well, this is one. I liked Periwinkle, Brick Red, and what was that one? Midnight Blue. Midnight Blue. Those are three that and Plum. Ooh, I liked Plum. Is this Plum? No, Purple Heart. I don't know that one either. Man, crayons got fancy since I did it last. You know, maybe maybe we'll have a little, you know, light color in there too. And I'm gonna get just some reds out, which is kind of the opposite color. Ooh, burnt sienna. Ooh, I did like that too, Gretchen. I'm gonna get some opposite colors in here too. If you want to shade something, like if you, we'll go over that a little bit, but sometimes instead of doing black or a darker color, sometimes if you use the opposite color, so like the opposite of green is red, sometimes if you use an opposite color, that will have a similar effect to shading. So I'm just trying to grab some, you know, I got the holly, I got these berries too. So we're just getting some pinks and some reds out here too. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to try. So there are a few, oh yeah, I could get some yellow too to lighten the greens. I read a few posts for how to do this that mentioned white. So mentioned that white helped out with having the crayon stick. It kind of made a base, and I wanted to test that because I don't love the idea that I have to color everything in with white first. I also saw that some people colored in with white after to blend things a little bit, but we're gonna do a little test. So I have some white. Let's just color. I'm gonna color this Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna tape this down because I'm not in the hoop for this and my fabric's already moving around. So let's go like this and like that and see how it goes. But I'm gonna color this guy in with white. And I'm kind of having a hard time seeing it, so that's already a problem. I'm hoping to avoid the whole white thing already, but you know, we're experimenting, so we'll see how it goes. So I think you want to really get it like you're filling in the fabric with crayon, with wax. Okay, well, my crayon's getting worn down, so I'm guessing it's working. I don't know, it's hard to see. But all right, I want to go back to the little holly here. So I'm going to start out with some light colors, and we're going to just try. Here's some, I think some yellow. So I'm going to actually just start with my lightest green. This is spring green. You know, maybe just test it. You can test it on paper or test it on a little fabric area to see if it's even a color that you like first. And it's awfully pretty. So I'm gonna color it in a little bit. I'm really touching lightly. And what I do to blend is a lot of times I like coloring just like little circles, and you keep filling in like little circles over and over and again versus big strokes. I find that helps coloring a lot, just these little circles. Charlotte, I am coloring on fabric. So what we're going to do is we're coloring this guy on fabric, and then we are going to melt all the wax. We're color tinting with crayon. And then we're going to stitch. We're going to embroider over it. And right now, I have not done this before, so I am just doing some tests. So I have not read that we iron the white first. All I've read with the white is that it helps blend, but I'm telling you, I'm not having too much problem with this green yet. So I'm just kind of lightly going over the design here. A lot of people like leaving a little light area in the middle. So we'll just do that for now. And then I'm just going to keep layering colors so I can test it out again here. I think I'll have oh, this is almost the same color. I'll leave a test area of fabric that I can keep adding to. So all right, so I'm going to do this as my next color. So I'm just going to kind of fill this in a little bit more. And I might not do this whole thing. I think I'll color in this holly. Oh, here, maybe I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see. That might be helpful. Sorry, guys, we might be a little far away. There we go. All right. So I'm just going in little circles here. And I'm lightly, like I'm barely touching the fabric. So I'm really light here. And I think it's blending really well. I mean, some people said that, you know, they use the white because it doesn't blend very well, but I'm thinking this is working okay so far. The trick is going slow and keep adding to it. I think we'll brighten it up right in the middle there. So I'm gonna add some yellow. I'm going in a little bit bigger strokes. Let's just jump right into, ooh, I kind of like some of this blue in here. Periwinkle, that's right, Periwinkle was my favorite. We'll put some Periwinkle on the edges maybe. Ooh, that actually is really pretty. So just doing a little test in blending color, and so far it seems to be working just fine. And then I'm going to go over some of these other circles and stuff. Oh, good, good. Sorry, guys. I wish I would have done that sooner. We are close up now. I'll make sure that we are close up for when we do the big bird design too. All right, let's get some darks in here. Right at the tips, maybe. Or maybe this whole edge is maybe a little darker. That little center of the holly. This is a pretty color right here. I do want to test out the pressing of everything today yet, so I'm going to just fill it in with more pigment. We'll see what happens when we get really dark. So I'll fill this one in a lot, like so every hole of this fabric is filled, and then this one maybe we'll do a little bit lighter real quick here and see what happens. So I'm still going lightly though. I'm still adding little by little. It's kind of fun. This is really like chill and relaxing actually. All right. So here's what I mean by if I want to like make the edges, if I want to add like some shade like to it, sometimes when you take the opposite color, so I'm taking like just kind of this red and I'm really lightly going in a few little areas. That's almost the same as adding like a darker color, but it kind of dulls it a little bit so it looks almost more like a shadow. Oh, thanks, Carla. Oh, you might need a bigger box of crayons. I think 24 would probably do the job just fine. But yeah, man, I'm only on this one little leaf and I don't know, it's fun. I feel like I could keep going forever. Let's get like a really dark blue in here. How about this turquoise blue? Get these little tips darker or something. All right, I think that's plenty. We did a lot there. So I kind of filled in this quite a bit. I want to see what it looks like if I just kind of do just a tiny bit of color. So I'm gonna start kind of light. We'll do it where we kind of leave the center less filled in. I know I've seen that look a lot when I was kind of studying what to do for this, since I haven't done this before. Oh yeah, so feel free to try other colors, and that's why, you know, we're testing things too. You know, so I'm testing the colors. I'm seeing what I might want to do for, you know, some of these holly leaves here. Ooh, I will definitely do a red berry as well. We'll finish this holly, and then I'll color in some of these other circles that I got over here, and we'll see how it goes. So this one I'm just I'm sticking to the edges, and we'll go right down that center line thing too. Let's just go a hair darker. Ooh, it's fun just to smell the crayons. They're a little tinge more. Maybe a little bit more. I have a feeling I'm going to end up coloring in the whole thing. I'm not going to leave the little areas because I'm already feeling myself wanting to color this whole thing in. But just for this study, we'll just leave it kind of on the edges. Oh, it's your favorite smell? Fun. Oh, I missed that washable question. You don't think we'll be able to do much on the actual design since everything is too small? I think with the house, there will be a lot of opportunity, and what I'm planning on doing, so let me just draw one quick. So we have that, here, I'll just draw it here because you can kind of see. So there's like the little snowflakes in the design, kind of like this. I mean, I'm just drawing one really quick. I'm kind of thinking that I would like to kind of make a glow around it. So I'm just going to kind of do like a circle glow. Oh, you guys can't barely see that probably. But I'm just kind of filling it in with like this, just kind of like a circle. And maybe it's a little darker in the center. So I'm thinking of doing something like that and then stitching with white over the top. And I think that might end up being kind of cute, a cute way of doing it. So even though there's not a ton to fill in, I mean, you know, so this is the size of the bird, is about the same size as this leaf that I just drew in here. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to color in. The bird's really cute, and this house for sure. And like here, this is where I was just going to kind of like color in, you know, color in kind of around it like this a little bit. And then I was going to just stitch over the lines. So that's my kind of plan for the tree, for the like little things. So yes, there are like little things to color in, but again, you know, you can play with it. Remember, we're going to be stitching over it too. Yes. Oh yes, silver metallic. I do want to do some silver or something. That would be really fun. All right, let's color in these. So here we have an example of one that's filled in quite a bit, one that's not filled in. You know, that's another look. And then let's do some of these berries here. I'll get you guys more centered. And then I want to do some of these circles that I filled in with white and see how that goes. So, all right, I'm going to start again with a light color. I'm going to start with pink. And, you know, so berries are sometimes a little shiny. So I'm going to leave a little white dot in the middle because that'll be as if the light's shining on it. So I'm just kind of going around and around and leaving that white dot. So that's the light colors. And we'll go a hair darker. So I'm still pretty light because I want these to be a deep red color, I think. Do the berries have white? So none of this has white underneath. None of this has the white crayon. And that's what I wanted to test. You know, a lot of people mentioned using the white crayon, but I'm like, man, I don't know if I really need that to blend colors together. Like, that's what everyone said. You know, it helps blend colors, but I was thinking, well, let's give it a try without and see what happens. So, all right, so now I'm just putting a little bit of red in there. What is this? Wild strawberry. It's not brick red. I couldn't find brick red yet. But I'm still kind of leaving that light area there. Actually, that might be good to go. I might stop right there because, you know, if we stitch some red around that, I think that'd be pretty cute. Maybe those white areas are a little too big. I'm gonna shrink them down a little bit. So the trick is, you know, I'm very, very lightly drawing. Yep, I'm gonna iron this tonight, Pax. I'm gonna give this a try. So I'm spending a little bit of time coloring, but then we'll definitely give this a try because I wanna test it out. So I'm barely touching this to the fabric. So you can see, like, I'm just letting gravity do it and going around and around and around. It's like you're just kind of blushing it a little bit. And then, you know, you can get darker, darker, darker. If you stay doing circles in one area, it's going to get darker. You know, add another color. You're going to add more and more layers to it. So that's kind of the deal. Let's just for the heck of it, let's just press a line. So I'm going to just draw. Now I'm really pressing. I'm not being light with it at all. Let's see what happens then. And you know what? Honestly, this feels like it's still blending pretty well, even with without any white. Let's add some of this almond color in here. So I'm really, really pressing now. We're doing these experiments, right? Let's see how this works. But I don't know, you can still get some blendiness with pressing darkly. But again, I would maybe try doing light first. But all right, let's just quickly go over to here. So now here is where we put all that white down first. I'm just curious what the deal is with that. It was recommended quite a bit. So since we did this one without, we'll do something similar with this right next to it. So let's start with this light color. I can hardly see that. Let's get a darker green. Let's start with this. So I've also heard that you can put white on when you're done. I'm just using, Patricia, a white muslin fabric, so nothing special, just a white fabric. Okay, you guys, honestly, I feel like it's not, the pigment isn't going on as well with the white underneath. Like, I feel like it doesn't want to go on. I feel like the white's kind of getting in the way. So I don't know. I would give it a try, see what you think. See what you think about it. So you think putting on the white after will work better. Yeah, I'm not wild. Like, see, it's kind of going on a little funny too. I'm not wild about the white going on first. Let's add some of this turquoise in here too. You know, I'm still doing my little circles. So I don't know. That's with white on first. Let's just quickly do here where we'll do some blue. We'll put on white after and see if that helps blend. So I'm going to just put two colors next to each other that I kind of want blended. So we'll do that periwinkle blue. Oh God, I still love that. What's this? Turquoise blue. That seems classic too. So we'll put these two colors to like next to each other. Oh, it doesn't show up as well for you guys, I don't think. And we'll kind of blend them a little bit across the way a little bit. And now let's put some white. When you did it, you didn't use white first either, and it was pretty. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think it's adding any benefit right now. All right, so I'm just kind of scribbling white. Well, this is kind of blending a little bit, so I'm just full on scratching white across the top. And yeah, I think maybe that blended a little bit better, but I don't know. I think when we were just coloring it, it was just fine. All right, so there's one more thing I want to do. I want to try some colored pencils too. So I'm going to just let's grab some similar colors. I'll grab some greens. We'll just grab a couple of greens here. And a yellow maybe, or a really light green. So, all right, so I got these three colors here. Let's give this a go, similar to how we did the holly. So I'm gonna just, same deal, I'm gonna just do my little circles. This is kind of going on a little quicker and nicer than the crayon. Yeah, colored pencils, I think, might be a little bit of a winner over the crayons. These are still pretty waxy pencils, but they're not as waxy as the crayons. I feel like it's kind of gliding over the fabric a little bit more. I'm still really, really light. These are Prismacolor pencils, so these are super duper expensive pencils. I would try with whatever colored pencils you have. These are like remnants from art stuff, art school and things like that. So I do have a link for these, but they are pricey. But these are like the high end of colored pencils and stuff. Let's see if I can get one more kind of dark green in there. But blending wise, I think this is working real well. I'm just kind of doing kind of like a sphere or something. I don't know. I'm just coloring in a circle. All right, so let's give the pressing a try. These are not watercolored pencils. I do have some watercolor pencils. Maybe we'll give that a test tomorrow. But all right, so here's what I got going on here. I have the pretty filled in, like a lot of waxes on this, a lot of crayon. So this is crayon with lots of layers. This is crayon with just the edge, just a couple layers. Here we got some more crayon in a different color, lots of layers. This is really light. Just my little test. So this is with the white down first and then the crayon on top. That, I feel, does not, that did not go on well. Like, it looks goopy and it just didn't slide on very well. This is the color with the white on top. That did, I can see why people like that for blending, but I think if you just go slow in little circles, you're gonna get the blending that you want. Oh, this is me just pressing really hard. So that was fun to get some really bright pigment. Nothing wrong with that at all. You don't have to be super light. You can be dark and bold. I think that's pretty awesome. And then this is with the Prismacolor colored pencils. And honestly, I think that blended the best. I mean, I think this looks more refined than the crayon. But, you know, you can do it all sorts of ways and see how it goes. So, all right, I'm going to zoom you all the way out again. So there we go. That's our little test. Let's head over to the iron and see how this works. So, okay, first things first, we need to protect our ironing board. I mean, I already have this towel down, but I'm going to get 2 sheets here. Oh yeah, so Gretchen, I think I'm thinking that the water-soluble marking pen is probably going to be just fine. You're probably not going to have any problem really with it. I just had read some places that it might be affected by the iron, but if you haven't had any problems with it before, then I'm thinking it'll be fine. I'm going to scoot you guys over here. Okay, so here we are again, if you guys want to see up close. So that's the colored pencil. I think that one actually kind of looks the nicest. But I want to do this whole thing in crayon just because it's fun to use crayon. So here's my crayon bits there. So you want to have paper towel on the bottom and also the top, because this is going to melt through, I think, to the back a little bit. So that's why we want it here, and we want it on the top too. I think I'll put 2 layers just in case. And now in theory, I haven't done this before, but in theory, some of this will come off and it will stick to the iron. So we'll give it a go. So this is my iron's at the high setting, the cotton setting. And we're just going to press over this a little bit. We're heating up that wax. And you know, there's for sure the wax in the crayon, but I think those colored pencils are pretty waxy too. All right, I kind of want to see if it's doing anything. I can smell the crayon. All right, well, so this is what we want to have happen. So you can see that, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there is a little bit of pigment on here. There's some of my red. So we want to keep pressing it until you can't see any pigment anymore. So I'm going to actually just turn this inside out, and I'm going to keep pressing. And that's really all there is to it. You're just trying to clean it up with the iron a little bit, get the wax out as much as you can. Then I think it's ready to stitch after that. Oh yeah, you could put parchment paper or just anything really to protect the iron and to protect your ironing board. Oh wow, it's really smelling like melted crayons in here now. So yeah, so I think the paper towel kind of collects the ink or the crayon a bit too. So let's see how we're doing. Oh yep, still there's some green and everything there. I'm going to separate these. I think we're fine with just 1 layer. Let's see if it's coming through the other side. I don't see any on the paper, but you can definitely tell that the pigment is melting through a hair. Let's do it. Let's do it again. So in theory, when you can't see the pigment anymore. And I'm thinking, I hope I didn't do that. Oh yeah, I kind of did. I'm thinking you don't want to put a dirty piece, like the part that you already pressed here, because I think it's going to transfer that to the fabric. Yeah, this one's pretty dirty. I think we're done here. Oh, I can just fold it and do it. I don't know. It's still coming off. So you can still add to this. You just have to keep pressing it. But I think this is really all there is to it. yeah, I'm not really seeing much anymore. So I think we might be in pretty decent shape right here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel as waxy anymore. The one with the white actually does a little bit yet. I don't know, I'm liking that colored pencil one. Here, let me show you guys through the white so you can see a little bit better. But there we go. So that is the first holly. And oh, see, here's where the blue, where you could put like some silver or something in there. And our berries look good. I am actually kind of down with the super bold, like pressing hard on it. But, you know, to build up color and to build up, you know, dimension in theory, you know, you want to just do little bits at a time. But yeah, the colored pencil looks really nice, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not doing with I don't think I'm going to deal with that white. I think I'm fine. Yeah, you can do it with brown paper or whatever. Helen, the heat setting is on the cotton setting. And I'm using cotton fabric, so that works well. I mean, if you're using something else, then you might want to try something else. But so that's the plan here. So I want to just, for the sake of that we have these cute guys here, I'm going to just grab really quickly some embroidery floss because I'm just curious at what this looks like. So I'm getting a little... Here we go. I'm getting a little cute variegated floss out of here. I want to stitch up this little, I want to see what it looks like with some stitches around it super duper quick before we head off for the night. So I'm just going to grab a little piece of floss here. Grab a little scissors. All right, I'm going to shimmy you guys down here again, I think. Oh, Pax, I am not doing my painting class anymore. I am done. But oh man, I would love to take a painting class again. Look at that cute holly. All right, I'm going to just split this into 3 strands quick. I want to do a tiny little test of what embroidery will look like with this. So just, there we go. Okay, we need Zeb here to help us out tonight. There's an embroidery needle. All right, I'm going to just tie a knot in the end for the sake of trying this out. Oh yeah, it does. Everything matches my nails again today. And I'm not going to use a hoop just because I want to test this really quick. Actually, I do have a small hoop here. Let's throw that in the little embroidery hoop. So this is just kind of like a little preview of the plan for tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm going to start coloring in my design here, just like here. Oh, you could use 1 strand. Patty, use however many strands you like. I'm using 3 just because that's what that's my kind of go-to is 3 strands. There we go. Let's just give this a go quick. I'm too curious. I wanted to see what it looks like. So again, I'm just doing 3 strands, some quick embroidery on here, and I'm totally already loving it. Yeah, it does fade and soften a little bit when it got ironed, doesn't it? So some people like doing this where it is all colored in. Some people like just a little haziness of the color. And you know, now I'm kind of liking the little haziness of the color. Do you see anything saying not to put it in the dryer? Ooh, a long time ago they told us no dryer. I think, well, I would think you want to get as much wax out of it first. There is something called Textile Medium. Oh, I don't think I put a link to it here, but I will tomorrow. So there is some Textile Medium, which is basically, I think it is kind of like a clear acrylic paint, I think. But you can paint it on, and it should leave the fabric it should leave the fabric kind of soft like fabric still. But if you paint that on before you do your embroidery, then that should set your color, and then you should be able to wash it and do whatever you like with it, and the color should not fade at all. That's what I hear, at least. I would put the medium on before embroidering. So I would finish the color how you want the color to be, like just perfect. And then I would put the textile medium on, let it dry. It's probably like an overnight type drying deal. And then I think you can stitch after that, I believe. I'll do a little bit more research for that. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it with the crayon. I'm going to come down the center here. Just to see what it looks like with some thread within the crayon area, which is looking pretty cute too. Oh, I'm so excited for this. So tomorrow we'll get going on the real thing. I just wanted to give this a go tonight. But I can already tell that this is something I'm going to want to do again and again. I've seen this before, and for some reason it never clicked to do it. But man, I'm telling you, I'm even really digging this little piece of holly here. And, you know, I'm using variegated floss right now, and I think that's really pretty too. So I think for my birds and the little branches in the house, I think I might do variegated floss and maybe some metallic. Ooh, two strands. Yeah, you could do 2 strands in the middle. So different number of strands will give you different thicknesses of line. But I kind of like how fat this 3-strand is. It kind of floats on top of it. So I think I'm going to just stop it right there. Well, now I can't stop. Like I have to keep going. It's cute. But I'm going to run out of thread here, so I'll just stop once I get to this point here. Can't stop. Then we'll take a look at it. I think for my birds and the house, I think I want like a general sort of blue, purple, wintry feel. I am not sure what I want to do for the birds yet. I kind of want them to maybe look like black-capped chickadees, but then they're really gray, and I don't know if I want to go that route yet. But here we go. I'm going to take this out. You did a fabric painting class a long time ago. Oh, and medium is what you used. Okay, so that's that, Debbie. So I will put a link to the fabric medium. If you guys got my newsletter, I did put a link to fabric medium in there, but I will. I could give that I'll put that in the post when I'm done here. Ooh, cardinals would be pretty. You'd have to add the little crest on top. Maybe cardinals. I kind of like that idea, Pax. But here we go. I think this is super dang adorable. It looks so much better, I think, with the embroidery. It is just adds that dimension. You like the lighter shading and not the harsher. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, so I do think the light is kind of pretty. It's just going to be like a little glow versus all filled in. So it's whatever look you want to go with, right? You could just do a little bit of edge. Then it's almost like your floss has a glow around it, like the floss is just bleeding a little almost versus the entire thing filled in. But I don't know. I'm pretty excited about this. So, all right, guys, I think that will do for tonight. I just wanted to give this a test. Easy peasy. I mean, this really was simple. If you guys are starting this tomorrow, or if you're going to color with me and you're having any trouble with the coloring, let me know, and I might have some tips here and there. I definitely think the little very, very light touch and little circles is a helpful way to do it, or an easy way to do it. But again, this was done really boldly, and I kind of think that looks awfully pretty as well. But all right, so tomorrow we will be doing this guy. You might want to have your paper pattern with you, because you can do little tests like this right on the paper. Like I think this is how I'm going to do my evergreens. I'm going to just kind of do blobs and then stitch that in over the top. So make sure to have this. You can treat this like a coloring page. We'll do our little tests on here. I think have your scrap paper with, because then you can test some colors before you go on the real one. And then you know what? I think I'm going to leave this in the hoop like this. I'll take it out for the night so it doesn't crease. But I'm going to put it back in the hoop, and then we can just lay this flat on the table. I'll put some white behind it still like this so we can kind of see it a little bit better. But then it's flat on the table and we can just color it in and everything is held in place. So I think the hoop like that is the way to go as well. So, all right, guys, I am pumped. I am super stoked to get going on this tomorrow. I think we might be able to color this whole thing in tomorrow. We already have it transferred. It's not a huge design. I think we can give the whole thing a go, and I think we might be stitching by Wednesday. So, yay, I'm super excited. All right, guys, I'm going to flip you around, and we will call it an evening. Hello again. All right, I am so dang excited about this. Look how cute that is. But yeah, I think just with the little glow of color, I think is pretty cute as well. So man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to decide now. Do I want tons of color like this, or do I want just a glowing, just a tinge of color? I don't know. But here we go. So this is how big it is if you guys are interested. So it's not, it's that big total. And you can enlarge it or shrink it to whatever size you want. But if you do want to stitch this with me over the next couple nights, it is available. It's a PDF download, and it's available in paper too, but the PDF download you'll get immediately, and the winter version will be with it as well. So it comes as like the kind of summary version, and the winter version, you get that as a little bonus with it, and it's got all the holly and stuff instead of just the leaves on it. So that's the difference. All right, guys, I'm super excited. I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies when we're done here. But man, always fun to try something new. It's like my favorite thing with crafting. So you can see I'm extra pumped tonight. But yeah, we will color for reals tomorrow. I'm excited. So, all right, guys, I will catch you tomorrow. Thanks again for joining me on this new project. And have a great Tuesday tomorrow. Good night.